Stuck Out Here, Chapter 3. I'm still having trouble believing it. While we walk through the halls past tons of identical sliding metal doors, I can barely stop thinking about it, even taking in how massive this station is. This grumpy old man has a butterfly as his mechanic's card. It's been a few minutes. Should I try asking about it again? I feel like things are kind of tense, but I also don't think that's going to stop. Everything's so quiet. Our walking is the only sound I can hear, echoing through the halls and making this place seem really lonely. I wonder if he gets lonely here. He definitely seems to like being alone, so I don't think so. He hasn't even told me his name. But he's got to be out here for so long every time, maybe he does get lonely. Maybe he never leaves, he's just fixing things all the time. That would definitely get lonely. Maybe that's where the butterfly comes from. Not like he thinks the butterfly is his friend. I don't think he's crazy like that, but maybe it makes him think of someone. Someone in his family, or a friend if he has any. I can't really guess, though. He's really hard to read. I think I'm headed in the right direction. It's been a couple more minutes. Maybe now I can try asking again. I'll make it a different question, too. So, the butterfly, I start. Good start, I think. I'm not talking about the butterfly, he says bluntly. I didn't even finish asking the question. I'll try asking the rest of it and see if he changes his mind. Is it like, he sighs, for someone else? Like it, reminds you of someone. Like they like butterflies, so you do them. I made it through the rest of the question without being interrupted, which might be a good sign. He stops walking. He doesn't turn around to look at me. He doesn't say anything. It's like he's stuck in place. He lifts his hand and scratches the side of his face, which doesn't tell me anything. Then he turns his head and looks at me. He stares at me, and I stare back at him. Is he going to say anything? I think I started holding my breath without realizing it. He turns back around and keeps walking. Dang it. We get to a door near the end of the hall, and he stops, so I stop and look at the door. It slides open. You can sleep in this room for now, he explains. I'd prefer you spend as much time in here as possible. It has a bed, a bathroom, and a desk. Although I guess I don't know what you'd use the desk for. He walks into the room, and I follow after him, getting to look inside. It definitely does have a bed, a bathroom, and a desk, but that's pretty much all that's in here. The walls are a solid gray, and the floor and ceiling are dark blue. The bed is in the far right corner from the door, a box that's the same color as the walls with a blue mattress on top. There's a nice wooden desk in the lower right corner, probably not real wood, and in the far left corner there's a door to the bathroom, which has a simple toilet, sink, and standing shower. This is great. I think this is the biggest room I've had since I left Earth. I turn around to ask what else there is to do here, but he's already walking away. You know where the cafeteria is. I'll handle that for you. Don't touch anything. And he's gone. I'll try asking about the butterfly another time. That was the best sleep I've had in forever. Even with this situation being the way it is, it's so comfortable here. I slept in a bed that's bigger than my body, woke up and got to use a personal bathroom, and now I have enough room to actually walk around while I think. I guess I had a personal bathroom on my ship too, but it wasn't really its own room, so I don't think that counts. There's not really that much to do in here, though. On my ship I had a few movies, even if I could only watch them on that tiny screen. All I can do here is lay in bed, or go to the bathroom, walk around the room, or sit at the desk. And he was right, I don't have anything to do with it. The room's great, I love it, but it's getting boring pretty fast. That guy told me not to leave unless I really had to. I don't think being bored is a good enough reason, but maybe I can make it sound more serious. How do I make boredom into something serious? If I get too bored, I'll jump on the bed and ruin the mattress. Maybe I'll jump on the desk and break it. Those are stupid, and there's probably replacements for that stuff anyway. Clog the toilet? I guess that hurts me more than it does him. Use too much water in the shower? Can I even do that on my own? I think a place like this would have a pretty big water supply and some way to automatically refill it. There's not a lot of damage I can do in here. That's probably why he doesn't want me to leave. Didn't he say I'm allowed in the cafeteria? I could go there. He can't get mad at me for leaving the room to get food. I need food. He's definitely upset, but I don't think he's crazy like that. I can walk to the cafeteria and get something to eat, and that'll be great. I wonder what they have. I don't get to have real meals most of the time, and I don't think I normally have as many options as this cafeteria might. This is so exciting. Wait, he said he'll handle it for me. Does that mean he wants me to wait here? He'll probably come get me or bring me something. Dang it, that was almost perfect. I guess if I don't know for sure, he won't be mad at me for trying anyway. There's like a 50% chance he meant that I should actually go to the cafeteria, so maybe I'll try it. I'll find out what he meant either way. I open the sliding door and peek out, looking down the hall. I don't see him. I don't hear him either. I walk outside and start down the hall. It's going to take a while to get back to the center, but I'm out of the room and I haven't gotten in trouble yet. Didn't he say he was going to put me in a room next to the center? He probably changed his mind, but why? He said he wanted me near the center so it'd be easier to keep an eye on me, but putting me all the way at the end of this long hallway does the opposite, right? He doesn't know if I'm in my room or not unless he walks all the way down there and checks. Maybe he just wanted me to be far away from his work, which I guess makes sense. When we were looking in the power boxes, he kept looking through the ones that I already checked, so he obviously doesn't trust me to help, even though that would be the easiest way to make sure he knows where I am. The hallway splits into two directions. I'm pretty sure the cafeteria is to the left, so I go that way. The other way just looks like more bedrooms, and I don't think we were walking through those for so long last time. I think I'll remember to check it out later. Maybe there's something cool down there. This hall starts getting wider, then taller. Things are starting to look familiar. I must be getting close. It's crazy to think that this is only one floor of the station. I just walked for, 10 minutes? Just to get from the end of the hall to the center of the station, and I don't know if that hallway even goes all the way to the edge. From the center, I think I counted 6 floors. I wasn't really paying attention. There could have been more. Plus, there could be floors above and below that you can't see from the center. There's an elevator next to the entrance from the hall to the central hub. Both the up and down buttons are flashing red, so they must be shut down because of the lockdown. Since there's a down button, there must be more floors under this one. There's a door to a staircase next to the elevator. I'll have to take that. Alright, so the cafeteria. I'm trying to think of how this is going to work. The security in this place is crazy, like seriously crazy, so I don't think I can get food on my own. I probably need a badge or a password or something. Maybe they have a fingerprint scanner like some of the doors do. Imagine if I could add my eye to a database and they scan that to give me a piece of toast or something. That'd be pretty sweet. It probably makes more sense that I need the old guy to get food for me, which could be what he meant when he said he'd handle it. I get to the top of the stairs and look down the hall in both directions. To the right are more halls like I was in before, but it looks like these ones aren't just bedrooms. Maybe I'll look over there later too. To the left is a big catwalk over the central hub leading straight to the cafeteria. There are a couple other rooms that the catwalk connects to in the center, making a sort of web of paths, which then leads to other hallways around the walls. It's starting to feel like I could explore this place forever. I walk toward the cafeteria, looking over the railing at the floor below me. Does it look farther down than it actually is, or did I climb more stairs than I thought? I look ahead and see the old guy with his tool bag. He's sitting on a counter next to a vending machine or fridge or something. I can't really tell. A panel on the side of it is open, and he's doing something inside with a screwdriver. I'm starting to get nervous again about whether I should have left the room or not, and I slow down when I walk in. I wonder if he puts the butterfly on machines like these, too. He sees me, but the look on his face doesn't change, and he doesn't stop working. I walk up to another machine and stare at it, trying to figure out how it works. It's a big silver box with a small opening near the bottom, like a vending machine, but there isn't a window or anything. The rest of the surface is empty. "Give me a second. It won't do anything if you try to use it," the old guy says. "That's all right. I can wait." I step back and put my hands in my pockets, slipping a right hand finger into the little hole at the bottom. I move it around, feeling in between the layers of my pants. I've always wondered why they make them like that. I look at the machine again, trying to see if I can understand it. There's 4 of these things spread out on the counter, and they all have these big tubes coming out the back that connect before they run into the wall. Maybe the tubes have conveyors or something, and then the food comes out of these big boxes. But then what are they so big for? How do you choose what you want? In a station this big, I really don't believe they only have one option. There's a little panel sticking out of the right side of the boxes, and it's way too small to have a menu or something on it. The old guy sets down the screwdriver, closes the panel, and gets down from the counter. He walks over and presses his thumb to the little panel on the side. It makes a bung sound, and the front of the box lights up, showing a menu. So it was a fingerprint after all. I wonder if I could get my print added to it somewhere. "Any allergies?" he says, moving to the breakfast part of the menu. "Oh, raw carrots. Nothing serious, just uncomfortable," I reply. He doesn't say anything else and taps on a bowl of cereal. A list of modifications pops up and he skips through it. A whirring sound starts coming from the tube behind the food box, and like 30 seconds later, a bowl of cereal slides into the opening at the bottom. He looks the food box up and down and nods. I step forward and pick up the bowl. The food looks pretty good and the bowl is comfortably cold. That was really cool. I think I've heard of these machines, but I've never seen one before. Even though the old guy clearly doesn't want me here, it at least doesn't seem like he hates me or anything. I turn to thank him, but he's walking out the other door with his tool bag. I'll be back here at 12:30 for lunch. And he leaves. Guess I'll see him for lunch. I hit a dead end in the hallway. Nothing but bedrooms the whole way down. I probably should have seen that coming. I had decided to check the other hallway connected to the one with my room, since that seemed like the least risky, but there's nothing interesting down here. I choose a nearby room at random and open the sliding door looking inside. It's just the same as my room. Same with the one next to it. I wonder how many of the hallways are like this one. How many people can even fit in this station? Probably enough for a whole city. I walk to the spot where the hallways branch off and look down the one leading to the center. I want to see what's out there so badly. I've seen neighborhoods on every planet, some of the biggest buildings those planets have. I'd seen stations orbiting those planets, and I have never seen anything like this. You think the old guy would forget about me? If I quietly stayed in my room for long enough, maybe he'd figure out how to stop the lockdown and wouldn't remember I was here. He'd finish his work and leave, which means I'd have the whole station to myself for months. I'd definitely like to stay longer, but since it's a government place, I probably shouldn't be here any longer than I have to. I breathe in and start running. I'm going to try exploring upstairs. I jog out of the stairwell and turn to the right. I look at a clock on the wall as I start down the hall. Looks like I have maybe 20 minutes before lunch. Let's see what I can find before then. The first couple rooms are just closets, which is pretty lame, but I guess a place like this has to have a lot of them. They are big though, I will admit. I don't think janitor's closets are usually very big, but these have a whole bunch of cleaning supplies, chairs and tables, drawers and drawers of office supplies. I mean, come on, there are shelves in the middle of the room. I flip the lights in the next room, which is an absolutely massive office space. More cubicles than I can count, but it's decorated in a way that isn't awful. The walls are made of dark, definitely real wood. The desks are all pretty spacious. There's a lot of plants and art scattered around. There's a warm, soft carpet running through the aisles, a few meeting rooms against the walls, and a nice big break room in the corner. It would probably feel pretty comfortable if it wasn't so ridiculously huge. You'd probably need to have like 8 different bosses in here. I think I have time to look at one more room. And I'm so glad I did. Are you kidding me? There's a theater in this place. It's not very big, but the screen is a decent size with a few rows of nice cushy seats. Just this room alone makes all the exploring worth it. The projector is in a small room sticking out the center of the back wall, along with shelves filled with movies. There's another closet inside, but it's locked and I can't seem to find a key. Whatever, let's look at these movies. I'm seeing a lot of military and spy movies, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I've always wondered if people in the government were into that kind of thing. Not a lot of PG in here, mostly rated R, so I don't think they're expecting very many kids in this station. In fact, I'm not seeing any family movies here, at least from the last 30 years. I can find 60, 70, 80-year-old movies in here that are more family-friendly, but definitely nothing in my lifespan. Which makes me wonder if they have... I hear footsteps from the hallway. I need to hide before he realizes I'm in here. I duck under the projector's table, which isn't the best place, but it's the only one I have time for. "Kid?" he calls into the room. I hold as still as I possibly can. He didn't sound angry, just curious, but I'm not risking it. I can only see his legs, and I watch them walk past the closet and into the theater. The footsteps stop, but I still don't move. It didn't sound like he sat down. Is he just staring at the screen? After a second, I hear the footsteps start moving back into the hallway. I stay hidden for a little longer, just to be safe. Once I know he's gone, I come out from under the table and carefully leave the projector closet. I left the door open when I walked in. That's probably how he knew I was in here. I think I left all the other doors open too. I also think I was holding my breath without realizing it. I look at a clock on the wall. It looks like I'm a little late for lunch. We sit in silence. I can't tell if I'm actually hearing an echo from my chewing or if it just feels like it. It's nice of him to help me get food like this, but he clearly doesn't want anything to do with me, and it makes it so awkward. Right now, we're sitting on opposite ends of the room with our backs turned to each other, which wasn't my choice. I just sat where he put my plate. If we're going to be stuck here for who knows how long, I wish he'd at least have a conversation with me. I wonder if he likes watching movies. That'd probably be a great place to start. It's something we can do together without even having to look at each other. That makes me wonder what kind of movies he likes. I can ask all the questions I want, but I'm not going to get anywhere like this. Should I do something bold? I'm starting to think that nothing's going to change if I just wait. I think I need to do something to make it happen. That's scary, though. He's a scary guy. Just something small. I'll start with one little change. I stand up, holding my plate and my cup. He doesn't react. I slowly walk around my table and towards his. I keep looking at him. Every row of tables I pass feel like islands I need to cross. He sighs as I get close to his table, so I think he realized what I'm doing. I walk around to the other side of the table and set my plate down, slowly sitting in the seat across from him. I'm still watching him, but he doesn't look at me, doesn't stop eating, nothing. This was what I expected, I guess, but I'm still a little disappointed. This is it, though. I already started moving. I can't stop now. Hey, how's work going today? I stammer. He glances at me, only for a second, but doesn't stop eating. I take a drink of water. Must be nice to, work on something without, the threat of death, right? That was a stupid line. That's not what I should have said. He huffs lightly and quickly scoops the rest of his food together, lifting it into his mouth in one bite. He grabs his plate and stands up, walking away. Still not done. Gotta get back to it, he says flatly. He starts rinsing his plate at a sink in the corner. I start chowing down as fast as I can, realizing he's about to leave. I finish and stand up as soon as he places his dishes on a conveyor, pushing a button and sending them into a back room. Great, I'll come with you. I can help, I blurt without thinking. I don't think that's what he wants to hear. He chuckles sarcastically and starts walking out the door. I rinse my dishes quickly and toss them on the conveyor, trailing after him. No, thanks. I got it. You should go back to your room, he says, still not turning around. But I want to learn to fix things. It's a desperate line, but I'm running out of ideas. Then go find a book or something. Library's on the 3rd floor. I'd rather work alone. We both leave the cafeteria and walk across the catwalk. I haven't been down this way before. Right, okay, then could you take me to the library? Then I wouldn't have to wander around. This isn't working. I'm about to lose all my progress. You're right. Go watch a movie then, since you do know where that is. Okay, here's my chance. All right, why don't you come with me? What kind of movies do you like to watch? He stops walking. Did that work? No way that worked. He still hasn't turned around. Okay, how about you go now and I'll meet you there in a minute, he says, almost completely monotone. He starts walking again. I'd like to believe him, but I stay where I am and keep watching. The catwalk runs into the wall, and he continues down the hallway. I'm still watching. It almost looks like his footsteps are speeding up. As he turns a corner, I notice him glance at me, looking tense. He's definitely trying to get away, and I follow after him, even though I know it's not a good idea. I follow as he takes a turn, then another, then another. He pretty much just went in a full circle and is definitely speed walking now. There's a part of me that thinks I should stop chasing him, but I already built the courage to get this far, and I don't want to have to start over. He takes another turn, approaching something that looks like a train car. He presses a couple buttons on a console as he passes, and the doors open. He quickly slips inside and stands behind the wall between the doors and the window. I can still see him. The doors are still open as I get closer, but there's a tone that sounds from the car's loudspeaker. If I can get inside this train car, we'll be stuck together at least until the next stop, which means he'll have to talk to me. I hear the sound of the train car getting started and see the doors start to move. I pick up running. I'm so close. I see the guy clench his fist as I approach. The door's about halfway closed now. Just before they click together, I dash between them and fall to the ground, sliding into the closed doors on the other side of the car. Oh, for the love, goodness, kid! Can't you just leave me alone? He shouts, throwing his hands in the air. Sure, Suddenly I can't find the words. I wasn't expecting the outburst. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. I'm not interested in making friends, in case I haven't made that abundantly clear. I have a job to do, and I'm just here to do it. You were never supposed to be involved, and I'd like for that to be the case again if you don't mind, he rants. Right, but I know. I just thought since we'll be stuck here for a while, I managed to say, sitting up and crossing my legs. Stuck, there's a good word for it. Stuck with some kid that can't seem to respect the very clear boundaries I'm setting. He throws his hands up again and paces the train car. Rich coming from him, too, since he won't say a dang thing about himself. I don't even know his name. My name's Sammy, I stammer. It really doesn't matter, does it, kid? He points firmly at me. We're nothing more than strangers, bumping into each other for a minute before we go our separate ways and never see each other again. I know. I just wanted to know about... I'm interrupted. Oh, great. Is this about the butterfly again? You really gotta let that go, kid. Every engineer has a card. I don't know why you're getting so caught up over mine. He huffs, sitting in one of the seats lining the walls. This conversation is going nowhere. I break my stare and notice an electrical box in the wall on the opposite side of the car. I'm thinking about doing something bold again. I stand up. It feels like we're gonna be out here for a while. I just thought, it wouldn't hurt to learn more about each other, I explain, walking to the other side of the car, one slow step at a time. Well, I prefer to do things by myself. To be honest, kid, I don't really care, he says, looking at his hand, then the floor. I stare at the closed door to the electrical box. I told you my name is Sammy. And I do, I say firmly, opening the electrical box and yanking at the power cords, pulling several of them out. Half the car's lights go out and it comes to a sudden halt. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do you think you're doing? He spurts frantically, standing up. I turn to him, trying to stop shaking. Maybe this was too bold. I want to know your name. And I'm curious about the butterfly, but you don't have to tell me the whole story, I say, clenching my fists just to give my hands something to do. He quickly walks over to the box and inspects the cords. That was seriously stupid of you, kid. You don't know what these do. You don't have protective gloves on. You could have really screwed us over. I nervously step to the side, out of his way. He looks back and forth between the wires in the electrical box. I know a power cord when I see one. And I want you to answer my questions. I'm losing my confidence. This isn't going to work. Yeah, as if. You pull a stunt like this and think you're about to get what you want? Fat chance. Even if you hadn't, do you think I'm going to go telling you my life story when you're being so secretive? He begins plugging the wires back in place. You're lucky none of these got damaged. That could have been really bad. I can't think of anything to say. He's right. I step back and slump into a seat behind me. What, nothing? Now you're done pushing? What if I want some answers, huh? He rambles angrily. He places the last wire and turns to me. The car starts moving again. Come on, you were the one that wanted to get to know each other. What were you doing out here? How did you end up crashing through the wall? How does a kid like you end up in space by yourself? I sink into the seat. Sorry, is all I can manage to say. He rubs his face with his hands and groans something to himself. Yeah, you know what? That's not how this works. You're the one who started pushing. Don't pretend like you don't have to fall when you push too hard. He pulls out the cords he just replaced and lets them hang out of the box, stopping the car again. He sits down in the seat across from me, leans back and folds his arms. I guess this monorail's not going anywhere until you talk. I shuffle my feet. I rub my hands together. I give him a glance and he's staring firmly at me. I look away again and take a long breath in. I guess I don't have a choice. End of chapter 3.